Welcome to the On Deck Podcast, presented by LineStar. I'm Shannon Sommerville, here with Tyler Wiemann on this Thursday, July 7th. Yep.
Nailed it.
It is World Chocolate Day.
Oh.
National Macaroni Day. And the next one is right up our alley, I think. National Dive Bar Day.
Dive Bar Day. I'm down. Let's go.
On a Thirsty Thursday?
I guess we know what we're doing for lunch.
There you go. Little liquid lunch.
Yep.
So the big story today in MLB, before we get to our daily fantasy and our prop bets for today, we just have to talk about the Chris Sale meltdown. The video surfaced last night of Red Sox pitcher Chris Sale destroying a minor league clubhouse in frustration after a rehab start where he walked 5 batters. It actually wasn't that bad of an outing. He's working back from a fractured rib. He did throw a season-high 72 pitches. He gave up 1 earned run, 3 hits, 5 strikeouts. But I guess those walks just sent him over the edge.
Yeah, I don't know how you do that to the minor leaguers. You know, it's already
It's not right.
It's already a tough time, and now they have to walk through their clubhouse every day.
Like especially after the pandemic, and now it's like, oh, we've got to remodel the clubhouse.
Yeah, and I mean, it's Chris Sale. He's
known for being a hothead.
He's fine. Yes, he is a hothead.
Back in 2016, you may remember when he was a member of the White Sox and he was refusing to wear the throwback jerseys because he said they were uncomfortable and he didn't want to wear them. So he cut up all of the jerseys so that they would be forced to wear the normal jerseys, which it
worked out though.
The question I have is, what are some other memorable sports, I guess, temper tantrums or meltdowns that you can remember?
My favorite ones by far are all managers getting ejected and doing crazy stuff, throwing bats on the field, taking a base and then walking into the clubhouse. There's so many of them. I actually went down a little.
Was that a Bobby Cox one? Who was that?
There's been several.
Yeah.
I went down a rabbit hole a couple weeks ago.
It's not a true
looking through
get tossed
manager.
Until you steal. You just take the base.
Manager meltdowns on Twitter. There's a rabbit hole of some good videos of people.
The best, too, is when they kick a trash can or something and it just comes right back over.
Yeah.
Well, was it
just karma
Odell
hitting
Beckham
him in the
Jr.?
face?
Something like that. Also, in football, Antonio Brown had a pretty memorable one most recently.
For your Jets.
No, I'm talking about the one for the Bucs.
That was the Tampa one.
Although, yes. Yeah. The Tampa one where this season, it was just last season. That's crazy. He just took the shirt off, walked off.
That was great.
All right.
Never to be seen again in the NFL, most likely. You think he gets signed anywhere?
I don't know. It seems like we always think he's done, and then he pops back up somewhere else. And
I don't know if he can make it
crazy
back.
Stories emerge of cryo chambers and all sorts of stuff.
I mean, when Tom Brady loses faith in you after trying to get you back multiple times, and then you throw
him under the bus afterwards.
I don't see it happening.
Yeah, that's not good. Let's take a look at today's slate because that is good.
It is.
Today's slate is awesome. It will not have you throwing temper tantrums. So today's weather notes, some pretty good weather for the most part. Yankees at Boston, 75 degrees. Their wind will be blowing out to left at 9 miles an hour. Pittsburgh at Cincinnati, 86 degrees at the Great American Small Park. And not much wind there. Could be good hitters conditions. St. Louis at Atlanta, 90 degrees. It'll be 9 mile an hour wind to left, although some pop-up showers are possible pretty much every day. That's how things are in the South there. Chicago at Dodgers, 73 degrees, and a 9 mile an hour wind blowing out there. Before we get to our projections for today, make sure to like and subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube. Drop a comment. Let us know how we're doing. It helps us out, and you'll be able to keep up with all of the videos that we're coming out with. So with that, let's get to our chalk report for today and talk about some high-owned pitchers for today. Got some great pitchers on the slate for today.
There's a lot of really good pitchers, and I feel like we're talking about half of the pitchers today.
And so ownership will be important when you are looking at this slate. White Sox righty Dylan Cease going up against the Tigers. He is about 43% owned on both sites right now. 2.51 ERA, 2.09 opponent average, although he's much better at home. 186 opponent average. And he hasn't given up a run, more than a run, in his last 4 starts. So he's been pretty dialed in.
0.65 ERA over his last 5.
That's good.
Yep.
Pretty good.
Good.
What do you see from him against the Tigers? Pretty good matchup for him.
Yeah, I mean, Tigers versus righties. They're the worst team in the league versus righties. We got a 5-star alert rating.
Okay. Alert. Wait, what's our noise? Okay.
30% combined K rate. Don't mind her. But Cease has just been great over the last 5. As Shannon talked about earlier, he also has a 2.12 FIP, 38% K rate over his last 5. He's also coming in at the top value option at almost 9K on LineStar, almost 10K. So honestly, everything looks great. And I would not be that surprised if he even was a little more high owned than he is.
And think about that. So he had just 4 strikeouts the last time out. And then the previous 2 times he had 13 strikeouts and 11 strikeouts. So that's crazy.
Yeah. And I would not be surprised whatsoever if he's in double digits today.
Woohoo.
Actually, it's probably worth pushing a line to go that and do that. Yeah.
All right. How about Yankees righty Garrett Cole going up against the Red Sox today? 35% owned on DraftKings and 20% owned on FanDuel. He's got a sub-3 ERA, 198 opponent average, and although he is slightly worse on the road, just a little bit, he didn't have a good game the last time he faced the Red Sox. He gave up 3 runs, I believe, in that, and I think just went 4 innings. However, are things different this time around for the Coltrane?
You know, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, Cole's great, although he's been kind of meh lately.
Okay.
Mid-5s FIP lately. 32% hard contact, 49% fly balls. He's allowing a decent amount of barreled balls. And then in 154 plate attempts versus Boston, he's given up a 252 average with 9 home runs, but a 273 ISO. So Boston has hit him hard in the past. There is a 25.5% combined K rate, 3-star alert rating.
That doesn't get a sound effect from me.
No, that doesn't. That shouldn't get one. And Boston's a good offense. They don't strike out much. I am not loving the Coltrane today.
All right.
Not with this many good pitchers on the slate and him higher owned.
All right. So we're not hopping on the Coltrane.
No, sorry. Sorry to do that to you.
Braves ready. Spencer Strider going up against the Cardinals. 28% owned on DraftKings and 23% on FanDuel. He's got a 2.87 ERA, 175 opponent average. Last time out against the Reds, just 1 earned run on just 1 hit, 11 strikeouts, 6 innings pitched for the W. Against the Cardinals, though, they're a better hitting team.
They are, but Strider has been unbelievable this year. Like, it's either him or Gore gonna be rookies of the year. I mean, it's a little early to say that, but Strider is really coming on, and I like him. He's been unbelievably good. 2.37 FIP, 36% K rate, and then over the last 5, 1.89 FIP and 38% K rate. His StatCast data looks great. He does only have a 3-star alerting today. Alert rating, likely because of the St. Louis matchup. But there is a 31.1% combined K rate, and he's still just too cheap for how good he's been. So I would not be surprised if this ownership comes up a little bit, whereas I think Cole could come down a little.
Former Clemson Tiger right there. Braves. So nice play there. How about Padres righty Joe Musgrove? Going up against the Giants today. He's 31% owned on DraftKings, 8% owned on FanDuel. 2.25 ERA, 2.03 opponent average. Last time out, 10 strikeouts against the Dodgers. And how did he not get the win in that one, Tyler?
You're trying to rub it in.
Because you speak for the Padres.
You're trying to rub it in that he didn't get the win? How dare you?
He did give up 2 home runs, however.
How dare you?
I would say that was a good outing. 10 strikeouts.
He's been great all season. He is the second highest projection on LineStar today, 4.5-star alert score. And on FanDuel, he has a 64 leverage score, which is super high. So on FanDuel, at that 8% ownership, it is pretty interesting. But he's been a stud all season. Giants don't really scare me off of him. So
Okay. So some great pitchers there, but some of them are high owned. So let's take a look at some lower owned pitchers for today. Giants righty Logan Webb going up against the Padres. So the other side of that matchup. Now he is 16% owned on DraftKings, 4% owned on FanDuel. He's got a 3.13 ERA, 2.36 opponent average. He's been solid. Faced the Padres in April, held them to just 1 run on 4 hits, 8 innings pitched, 7 strikeouts. Obviously, a lot has happened since April at the beginning of the season. Yeah. What do you expect from him today for fantasy purposes?
Well, it seems like Webb is hitting his stride. 2.56 FIP over the last 5 with 23% K rate. But really, not only is Webb good, the Padres have been awful lately. Machado is back, but he's still obviously hurt. He's 3-19 over since he's been back. He has 10 Ks. And over the last 2 weeks, the Padres have been a bottom tier offense. There's 3.5 star alert score, which I think it actually should be a little bit higher just because of how bad the Padres have been recently.
Okay.
And he's a second highest value option on LineStar today. I think there's a lot going for him today, and the field necessarily hasn't really caught up to how bad the Padres have been.
Yeah.
And it hurts me to say it.
Yeah. Dr. Chow says they're probably not going to be fully healthy until end of August.
Yeah, I mean, Tatis is going to come back probably beginning of August, but he's not going to be full go.
How about Dodgers righty Tony Gonsolin going up against the Cubs? 23% owned on DraftKings, 2% on FanDuel. He's been awesome.
Yeah.
He's 10-0, 1.54 ERA, 1.56 opponent average. Awesome numbers there. And season high, he's not a huge strikeout guy, but season high 8 strikeouts last time against the Padres held them to just 1 earned run on 4 hits and 7 2/3. I promise I am not coming for you. It's just the numbers are just, that's what they're saying, Tyler.
The one thing with Gonsolin that I keep getting back, I keep expecting a little bit of regression because his FIP has been much higher than his ERA all season, and it is obviously still that way now. But he's just been so good, I can't really deny it.
Yeah.
3.8 FIP, 25% K rate. The combined K rate today is 24%. Cubs have been decent lately, but it's still not a great matchup for them. And I like the upside that you can get from Tony G at a little bit of lower ownership. So.
And decent weather there today. A little bit of a wind blowing out.
Yep.
Nice temperatures. How about Orioles righty Jordan Lyles going up against the Angels? And less than 10% ownership on both sites, just 2% on FanDuel. Now, he's got a 4.7 ERA, 2.77 opponent average. He has been better at home, so this game is at Camden Yards. He pitched well his last start against the Twins, just 1 run on 4 hits, 7 strikeouts. And the Twins are top 10 in batting average, where the Angels are bottom third. So this is an interesting one. What is your thought process here?
It's really just the Angels have been so bad.
Fair enough.
And
yeah, they're like 26 or 27.
Average. And over the last 2 weeks, they're striking out 32%, have a 58 WRC plus. Like besides Ohtani and Trout, the offense is just anemic. Lyles is super cheap and has some upside. We have a combined K rate for him for 24.8%, which he's right around a 19% strikeout rate. So he's really getting an Angels bump in that combined K rate. But really, I felt like I needed to put some sort of cheap, low-owned option out there because pretty much everybody's paying up for pitcher today. So if you pay up for one of the guys and go cheap, you're going to be a lot different than everybody and get you could pay up for a stack where most people aren't going to be able to pay up.
Man, the Angels. What a tragedy.
I just don't understand how you have Ohtani and Trout and you're that bad.
I know. And, I mean, You got to think at a certain point, Trout, who's one of the most competitive people from what we've gathered, right? Like outside, like even golf and all this stuff, like has to be just crumbling inside just because he knows he deserves better. Right?
And maybe not when he's cashing that check every week.
But yeah, those two guys, it feels like, I don't know, like what are they doing over there that they're just wasting that talent?
Well, the thing that's interesting to me is with the contracts that they have, they may not be able to re-sign Ohtani.
Interesting.
And I mean, if they do, they're going to be paying a ton in luxury tax. So.
Oh, so you're saying that he could be in pinstripes?
Don't even say that. Don't even say that.
I love that imagery. No. All right.
I'm pretty sure that pinstripes make him look fat.
Oh, okay. Sure. No. Pinstripes are slimming. Everybody knows that.
Not for Ohtani. I don't know why.
Oh, are you giving us fashion advice? We're going to crush you on the comment section of Linestar today.
Whatever.
Speaking of
Whatever, bro.
Speaking of that, you can join in on all the inside jokes on the Linestar comments by joining LineStarApp.com. Right now, you can sign up for $19.99 per month. There we go. And that price will go up for football season, so you want to lock that in now. Obviously, football season, everyone's getting ready for. So, yeah, LineStarApp.com. Now it's time for our stack report, and we're going to talk about our high-owned stacks for today in daily fantasy. Even if you're not playing in daily fantasy, though, this could be really helpful information if you're placing bets on some of these teams today. So, first we'll talk about the Braves going up against Cardinals lefty Matthew Liberatore. Shuffled around the minor leagues and the major leagues a bit this season, but supposedly should remain in the starting rotation for the Cardinals because Jack Flaherty and Steven Matz are out. So let's talk about his time with the Cardinals. This ERA of 4 over the season, though, 5.66 ERA and 3.10 opponent average. So last game he got crushed by the Phillies, so you can see kind of why people are leaning towards the Cardinals, especially with some of the Atlanta righty bats.
Yeah, and the Braves, they're the second highest projected stack on LineStar. They also have the highest ceiling for any stack today. But we have great hitting weather. Liberatore isn't a good pitcher. Mid-5s FIP, 50% hard contact, super high average exit velocity at 94.1 miles an hour. Yesterday, you set a stat with Stanton Alvarez and Alvarez being, what it was, 95?
Highest exit velocity, 95.6 maybe?
Yeah, so anyways, like the highest average exit velocity from those two hitters is 95.8. Meanwhile, his average exit velocity is 94. So just kind of goes to show you how hard he's been getting hit. He's allowing 1.7 home runs per 9. And when he's away, the opponent batting average is 417.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a big number there. So do you think Braves are going to be worth stacking with the ownership being as high as it is?
Absolutely. There's good hitting weather. It's warm. Winds are blowing out. Liberatore is not good. I like it. I don't think they're going to be super high owned, and the reason being is that they are expensive.
Yeah.
While we have so much good pitching that it's going to be really hard to get to them and two of the higher priced pitchers.
How about the Diamondbacks? They are the second highest owned stack for today versus the Rockies lefty Austin Gomber, who's got a 6.53 ERA and a 2.95 opponent average. So hitters are hitting basically 300 against him.
Yeah.
Last time against the D-backs was just last Saturday, and he gave up 4 earned runs on 6 hits, which included 2 home runs.
Gomber's just making Hall of Famers. Mid-5s FIP. 42% fly balls, 1.6 home runs per 9, and 34 plate attempts. Opponent, Arizona's hitting 355 off him with 3 home runs, 387 ISO. The one thing I do have to say is a lot of that damage was in Colorado last week. So,
gotcha.
Being in Colorado, maybe don't think quite as much into that. But moral of the story, he hasn't been good. He isn't good. Arizona's in a decent spot.
All right. How about our low-owned plays for today? Here's where we can get maybe a little bit different. Colorado, on the other side of that D-backs matchup, was going up against D-backs have lefty Dallas Keuchel on the hill for them, and he's got just not good numbers. He just hasn't found it this season. 8.27 ERA, 3.33 opponent average. And Saturday against Colorado, he gave up 6 earned runs in 5 innings. So I definitely see why this could be advantageous to some of those Rocky spots.
Yeah, and Rockies just crush lefties. They have a 129 WRC plus versus lefties the last 2 weeks. Ketchel isn't good. High fives FIP over his last 20, 36% hard contact, 40% line drives, allowing 1.5 home runs per 9. There's a lot of reasons to like Colorado. It's also a good hitting park. So
yes. So let's take a look now at the Mariners. They will be going up against the Toronto Blue Jays. And at last check, I didn't see if they had announced a starter. So
it looks like it's going to be Casey Lawrence.
Okay. All right. What do we think about the Mariners against Mr. Lawrence?
Lawrence hasn't fared too well in the good old major leagues. 2.1 home runs per 9. He has a high FIP, 33% hard contact, 40% fly balls. Seattle's a top 10 offense versus righties. So I like him today against Lawrence. Nice. They're also better at home.
Awesome. Oh, yeah. You mentioned that stat, and I'm always surprised about that being that it's a...
They have cooled off at home a little bit. Mm-hmm. They aren't as good at home as they were to start the season. Mm-hmm. Likely, just the regression due to ballpark
against this
or whatnot.
Pitcher.
But
could be back to that trend.
Yep.
Now let's take a look at the two teams basically playing at Great American Ballpark today. Yeah. What are you thinking for Pittsburgh and the Reds today?
Really, it's two poor pitchers at Great American Small Park with super warm weather. They're also cheaper stacks, so you can kind of get to them if you want to pay up for pitching today.
Oh, yeah.
So I like them. I like both sides of it.
Awesome picks there. Mm-hmm. Remember, you can catch all this information and analysis at LineStarApp.com, so be sure to check that out.
Also, remember, you can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts or on YouTube if you are on the podcast.
And if you're on YouTube, comment and tell Tyler that he needs to stop with the fashion advice.
Hey, Ohtani cannot go to the Yankees.
Pinstripes look good on everybody.
I will riot.
All right. Now it is time for our sleeper picks of the day. We'll start off with DraftKings. Our sleeper pick on the LineStar app, if we sort by value, is going to be Arizona second baseman Buddy Kennedy, who's only $2,000 on DraftKings. So pretty good price tag right there. And you can see kind of why. A lot of green there. 3-star alert. Let's go to his player card and open that up. Yeah, take a look at that. Kennedy went 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run scored in Monday's 8-3 win over San Francisco. We can learn a little bit more about his matchup if we just scroll down here, and some good things right there. Top 10% hitter versus lefty pitchers with a 2.25 fantasy points per plate appearance. And then on the other side of that, you got Austin Gomber, who's 262 against right-handed bats, giving up 2.26 fantasy points per plate attempt. We also got this one at Chase Field. And you can see there, Kennedy has pretty good numbers in home games as well. So some good numbers there. And you can get all of this information, once again, at the LineStar app. So that's Buddy Kennedy, $2,000. Great price tag right there if you're looking to save some money. Now let's go to our FanDuel sleeper of the day. If we just switch over on the LineStar app to FanDuel. And it's going to be Cubs outfielder Rafael Ortega coming in at $2,600. He's going up against Tony Gonsolin for the Dodgers. So kind of a tough matchup, but look at that value. And look at our projection. Looking pretty good there. Let's pull up his player card and see what's going on here. Oh, yeah. Ortega was on base thrice, which is an underused word, in my opinion. And he swiped a bag as well.
Yeah.
If we scroll down to some of the alerts for him, probably batting leadoff. We like that. Top 15% hitter versus right-handed pitchers with a 2.62 fantasy points per plate appearance and a nice price tag on him as well, $2,600. So it's worth, taking a gamble on a guy like that, even if against a pretty good pitcher in Gonsolin. And as you mentioned before, you do foresee a little bit of regression possibly with Gonsolin.
Yeah, there's absolutely a chance for some regression with Gonsolin. The other thing is that the Cubs have been a top 10 offense over the last couple weeks versus righties. So,
you know what I also saw, if you're interested, Seiya Suzuki on Underdog Sports is the line for bases at 0.5 on Underdog, which is pretty awesome. So
he's back.
I think that might be a good play if you're playing on Underdog Sports. If you're not, why not? Just click the link below and go play on Underdog Sports. So that's a look once again at LineStar and the LineStar app for our sleeper picks. As always, you can get LineStar yourself. It's a great way to study up on all your fantasy. And if you're playing prop bets and placing some money down, it's a great research tool for you. So check it out, linestarapp.com. And now it's time for our home run calls of the day. Quite simply, who do we think is going yard today? Remember, you can play along with us on Twitter. Retweet us for a chance to win some prizes. Let us know who you're tailing today. So Tyler, who do you have in your home run call for today?
I'm going with a value bomb.
Oh, a value bomb.
Value bomb, Jack Sawinski. Duggar's given up a 276 ISO to lefties, while Sawinski has a 273 ISO to righties. We have a very warm day in Cincinnati, and I think he's going to hit a home run in Great American Small Park.
I can see it.
Yeah,
I like that
it's
play.
Happening.
I'm going a little more chalk, but I feel pretty confident in Vladdy Guerrero going up against Mariners lefty Marco Gonzalez, who has the 8th highest home run per 9 rate in all of baseball among qualified pitchers. Of course, Vladdy has a much higher slugging percentage against lefties this season at .542. Also, he hasn't had a home run in like 5 games, so he's due.
Oh, he's due.
He's due for one. He gets it today.
You are on a, three home run calls in 4 nights?
I've gotten 3 of the last 4.
Yeah.
So we got to keep it moving.
Schwarbaum had 2 for you yesterday.
Oh, Schwarbaum.
Yep.
Schwarbaums were landing yesterday.
I know. Hey, he's just on fire.
On fire. Yeah, he's just been, that's crazy.
Yeah.
He's just been awesome. Now let's take a look at our prop bets for today. Remember, you can play along with us as well. All you have to do is hit the like and subscribe button on YouTube and comment below. And then if both of us get our picks correct, one randomly selected commenter can win $60. You can also just play along with us on Underdog Fantasy. You can download the app. Remember, it is one of the apps that you don't necessarily have to have betting legal in your state, which is what makes it kind of awesome because it's considered fantasy sports. So, like we said, for all new users who deposit at least $10 on Underdog Sports, will get a free 3-month LineStar subscription and your deposit of $100 or matched up to $100. So if you deposit $100, you get $200.
Yeah, and then you can put it all on our bets.
Even I can do that math. All right, our prop bets for today. Tyler, where are you headed for today's prop bet?
I am going to the Atlanta Braves with Austin Riley over 1.5 total bases. He has a 5-star LineStar alert score. He is hitting .520 over the last week with a .481 ISO, going against a bad pitcher and at home with great hitting weather. I would not be surprised if he put one over the fence. Just saying that. I think 1.5 is going to hit.
All right. I am going D-backs Kettle Marte over 7.5 fantasy points. You can find that at Underdog. Or if you're placing bets in the sports book, you can go over 1.5 bases. That is at -140. So over the past 3 seasons, Marte has a .367 average against lefties. Marte is also a switch hitter who does his best work as a righty bat against lefties. And today going up against the lefty Austin Gomber, who does way worse against righties. So it's just really the perfect combination. Righty bats have a .930 OPS against him. Remember, MLB average is 707. And in just 6 at-bats, small sample size against Gomber, Marte is 4 for 6 with a double and 2 home runs.
Yeah. Over 1,000 WOBA. I saw that.
It's pretty awesome. So I think he hits that with ease today.
I like it.
So those are our picks for today for daily fantasy as well as our prop bets. Let us know who you like for today. Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to hit like and subscribe and check out LineStarApp.com for all the information that we've just kind of gone over, and you can go even more in depth and use our lineup optimizer, for example. And it's
I want to hear what you guys think about Ohtani and pinstripes.
Or Tyler's outfits. You can see what they're saying about him in the comments. I went red team today, though.
In the comments, I don't get too much. It's the LineStar chat that likes to take their jabs. You know?
Yeah. I wonder what they'll think about today's shirt. It's a nice plaid shirt.
Yeah.
Team plaid.
Team plaid. I'm down.
Plaid is in. Red. I think I'm hitting. Yesterday I was yellow. Today I'm red. I'm just trying to check off all the traffic light colors. You know what I mean?
Yep. So going green tomorrow, huh?
We'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll see if I wear green tomorrow. We'll see you guys.
Bye.